Steve Yates was my childhood best friend. He was a great bloke. He was funny, generous, happy. He was just one of those people you just enjoyed being around. But on the 27th of May 2014, he took his own life.
And I said, no, I said, it can't be true. Not my Steve.
The guilt's horrendous. Feel so guilty all the time. The frustration is constant.
He's one of the most just bizarre and horrible experiences I never ever want anyone else to go through.
I'm never going to come back.
He was one of 16 people to commit suicide that day in the UK. And 3 and 4 of them were male and over 35, just like Steve.
We refer to them as the holy shit numbers. So single largest killer of men under 45, 1 every 2 hours, 84 a week, 75% of suicides are male. That clearly says that there's something intrinsically wrong in our society.
But Steve wasn't a number. He was a father, a son, a brother, and a friend.
Guys in their 20s have this really cool social connect. They've just come out of school, they've come out of big groups, and then they go off and start careers. So when they hit their 40s, they're socially not connected, so they feel they can't ring anyone, they feel isolated.
Steve is a documentary about how men hide their feelings, don't admit there's a problem, but are suffering in silence.
There's almost a kind of a slight amount of resistance actually seeing that there's a problem. Some people call it male gender blindness.
I can't imagine Steve coming up to me and saying, Dad, I've got mental health issues. I just couldn't imagine him saying that. He just wouldn't.
I do get quite a few men saying, I'm only here because my wife told me to come. On the other hand, I don't think we should stereotype men and say, men don't come to the doctor, men don't talk. I think there is an element of that. I do absolutely agree, but I am hopeful that things are changing.
We'll also meet some survivors and contributors who are helping to change the way we view male mental health.
I did the typical bloke thing, what all men do when they start suffering from mental health issues. I kept it to myself. I didn't want to talk about it. As a rugby league player, we were always taught if you get injured on a field, you get back in your defensive line and you keep moving forward. But that's what I took into everyday life, and that's when tragedies happen.
In my experience, if you come from a working class background, it's not deemed acceptable to talk about certain emotions. And I didn't have the language to talk about certain emotions. I didn't even know what mental health was.
And get some practical advice from those who have helped to drive that change.
And for me, going through the Mind Over Marathon project helped me really identify that within myself. Why was I always on that kind of eternal momentum going forward? Because if I stopped, I would have a conversation with suicide.
There was a selfish reason for doing the journal, which was for myself, as I needed to take myself on a journey. And there was but the outcome of that has to be selfless. I want it to empower someone else. I've got to change someone else's life. So when we realised at the end, we were helping 1,500 guys, we were like, it just blew my mind.
Andy Roberts Coffee Club. I said I need to do it. I've got to do it for him. I can't have other guys doing this. This is bullshit. I can't have guys killing themselves. Because obviously I'm fell in that category. I'm under 45. I'm more likely to die by suicide than all this other stuff that gets advertised about cardiac arrest and testicular cancer and everything else. And I thought, I'm more likely to die by suicide. No one's talking about it. So I went home. I had an idea what I'd do. I already had a unit where I operated my business out of. I thought I'll just donate that every Monday.
But this is a film of hope. A film to help men help themselves.
Whatever you think it is, it's not that bad and we can fix it. But we need you to try to fix it as well. We can't fix it for you.
Like on a plane, when they tell you put on your own mask first before you put on your child's or whatever, that says it, doesn't it? You've got to look after you before you can look after other people.
Because they are loved, they are needed, and they can get help.